Hold onto your VR headsets because today's MetaQuest gaming showcase has just hit warp speed. We're getting both the long-awaited Assassin's Creed Nexus and a mind-blowing sequel to an epic you may have missed, Asgard's Wrath. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're diving into an ocean of fresh reviews, first looks, and pretty hot updates. Join me in this quick Quest 2 news video right after a quick word from Skydance Interactive. Thanks to them for sponsoring this segment. There's a limited time 25% discount right now on both chapters of The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners on the MetaQuest store and Steam. This best-selling VR game isn't just a survival adventure, it's a deep, story-rich experience packed with satisfying gameplay mechanics. It's one of my personal favorites and it's rare to see such a gem go on sale, so don't miss this opportunity if you haven't played it yet. But wait, there's more. To celebrate, Skydance is giving away 500 limited edition blood red Saint and Sinners branded VR cover facial interface kits. To enter the giveaway, just follow the details below, but hurry, it's while supplies last. Let's continue with the highly anticipated Assassin's Creed Nexus VR, finally making an appearance at the gaming showcase. I'm so glad to see Nexus VR still on the horizon, despite Ubisoft's cancellation of Splinter Cell VR. While they didn't reveal much yet, they've pointed us towards the Ubisoft Forward show on June 12th for a full unveiling, which isn't far away, so here's hoping it will be as awesome as we imagine. And we're finally getting a highly requested game, Power Wash Simulator VR. This chill game puts you in Muckingham Town with a high-pressure hose to blast off dirt from various objects. With incredibly satisfying gameplay, it seems like the perfect fit for VR, an ideal unwind at the end of the day game, and you can do it with friends too. I Expect You to Die is back with number 3, Cog in the Machine. The series' trademark humor returns as you tackle Dr. Zor's new plan and a cunning new villain. Expect to venture into risky new places and, of course, expect to meet a few untimely ends. As a fan of the first 2 games, I look forward to this one. You can actually pre-order it with a 10% discount starting today. Now, kinda interestingly, the vampire genre has been surprisingly absent in the VR gaming world, but now we're not just getting 1, but 2 vampire games. Firstly, we have Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire from Shell Games, the devs behind Among Us VR. In this eerie single-player game, stealth is your weapon as you face the undead, turning tables by staking vampires before they get too powerful. Brace yourself for a horror ride including jump scares. Next, Fast Travel Games invites you into the shadows with Vampire the Masquerade Justice. Unlike Silent Slayer where you hunt vampires, here you are the creature of the night. Explore the underbelly of Venice as a powerful vampire, and yes, you can bite. I had a chance to visit their office a few weeks ago and I had already learned about this game that it isn't a horror game, setting it apart from Silent Slayer. But both games seem poised to satisfy vampire fans. But just like a vampire, wouldn't you love to stay eternally updated? Consider this your invitation. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and give this video a fantastic thumbs up. Milky Way approves. Bulletstorm, a shooter from 2011, is being revamped for VR by Incuvo, the creators of Green Hell VR. While I haven't played the original, I learned that it has a unique skill shot system and it seems interesting as it rewards creative shooting. Judging from the trailer, teeming with hordes of mutated enemies, this game seems far from boring. Coming next is Underdogs, a cyberpunk-looking mech brawler set in the gritty future city of New Braca. You pilot a 5-ton gorilla mech in physics-based pit fights. The developer said you could lose an arm in combat, pick it back up and use it as a weapon. Apart from this brutally creative fight, this is a roguelike with plenty of hustle and strategizing required outside the pits, and I like the game's art style so far. Up next is Dungeons of Eternity, a 1-to-3 player co-op game that thrusts you into randomly generated dungeons, filled with enemies, traps, and loot. With a physics-based combat system, you get to explore crypts, castles, and caverns with endless replayability. This blend of teamwork and the game's magic elements kind of reminds me of a first-person Diablo-like experience, and as a fan of this genre, I can't wait to see how this ambitious RPG develops. Vertigo Games, the creators of After the Fall, are reviving The Seventh Guest, a point-and-click adventure classic from the CD-ROM era, now brought to life in VR. You explore the fully 3D haunted mansion of Henry Stoff, brimming with puzzles and immersive storytelling. Honestly, the trailer looks incredible. Next, there's Death Game Hotel, a disturbingly intriguing story-based game where you gamble your life, or more accurately, your limbs are the chips. And there are even multiplayer modes. This actually kinda reminds me of the Netflix show Alice in Borderlands, which was kinda disturbing, but if you're into that kind of thing, then it was really good. In No More Rainbows, you take on an hilariously horrific role as the warden of the underworld, charged with fending off a QT creature invasion with, let's just say, creatively brutal methods. But this is the announcement that I've been most excited to talk about. We're getting a sequel to Asgard's Wrath, an RPG that was ahead of its time, launching during the Oculus Rift time, so you might not have heard of it as a Quest player, but this game felt like a full-fledged AAA RPG like Skyrim. It was impressively detailed and impressive, so I'm actually astounded to see Asgard's Wrath 2 confirmed for Quest 2. So it picks up where the first game left off and promises to be even more expansive, aiming to set a new standard for wireless VR with its ambitious scale. In fact, it's packed to be the largest game on the Quest platform, with over 60 hours of exploration, storytelling, and intense physics-based combat, which is a massive deal. There are a multitude of mechanics in the game, far too many to summarize right now, so I'd recommend watching my Asgard's Wrath review for an idea of the depth this sequel will build upon. I'm genuinely intrigued to see how this ambitious sequel will translate on the Quest 2 and even more so, maybe Quest 3? Besides this epic announcement, we also have sneak peeks of games that we already knew were coming. In Stranger Things VR, we experience the world through Vecna's malevolent eyes. This is a chilling adventure where we manipulate alternate realities and minds of favorite characters. And this trailer seems to give us a glimpse of actual gameplay, which doesn't just look spooky, but the art style looks uniquely appealing too. Finally, we have a gameplay trailer for Attack on Titan VR, and I must say, the translation of the iconic vertical maneuvering gear and Titan battles into first-person VR looks fantastic. The game, which will offer both single-player and co-op modes, has me, a massive fan of the series, absolutely thrilled. And we knew Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord was on its way, a story-driven campaign that you can play alone or with 3 friends. This new trailer has some hidden Easter eggs and reveals gameplay and backstory. Not much new, but still very exciting. Then a first look at Demeo Battles, a new way to take part of the world of Demeo. Battles adds competitive PvP strategy with 1 versus 1 or 2 versus 2 turn-based bouts. And it looks like a fiery challenge could be awaiting. And last but not least, some quick Quest 2 updates. Bringing back arcade vibes, Sega Samba de Amigo Party Central revives a classic 1999 rhythm arcade game in VR. It reminds me of this Japanese drum game, which I love. Meanwhile, Racket Club by Resolution Games, they've been busy, will deliver a new VR racket sport experience, offering both solo play and global online matches for endless athletic fun. And heads up, VR1, the creative time loop puzzle action game, has been released today, which I've shown you before on this channel. In the Cosmos, Ghost Signal, a Stellaris game, expands its fleet with a couple of new spacecraft and quality of life updates. Highly recommend this game if you haven't tried it yet. Onward is preparing to load us up with a couple of high caliber weapons and a polished movement system in their forthcoming update. Walkabout Minigolf is all set to take us on a prehistoric journey to the center of the earth with the new course on June 8th. Interestingly, they're also launching an iOS app with Quest crossplay. And for the city planners among us, Little Cities teases an upcoming sandbox update for freeform city creation. That's it for today. I think this is one of the best showcases yet, undoubtedly surpassing the previous one. What are your thoughts and which announcements has you on edge? Drop a comment below. I'm personally intensely keen on Asgard's Wrath 2, if you didn't notice that already, but in all honesty, about 80% of these announcements are looking exciting, which hasn't always been the case with these showcases, so that's really good. If you're curious about why I'm so hyped for Asgard's Wrath, you might be interested in this video here. It's all about the first Asgard's Wrath game and its Ragnaroking greatness. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this as much as I did, hit that subscribe button to never miss any XR news and to support us. A big shout out to our champs and tot ziens!